Hi, Steve here. Thanks for sparing a few minutes to have a look at our Stop at a Winner Greyhound. After releasing Stop at a Winner, the horse one, back in February, we've had so many requests from the owners of that software to do something for them for the Greyhounds. So, true to our word, we've come up with Stop at a Winner Greyhounds. Looking at use in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Now, word of warning. Since I've been testing it, the UK is fine. That's plenty of liquidity, even in some of the smaller meetings. But Australia, the day meetings have nothing on them on Betfair, and we're looking at the night. Some of the stronger night meetings, Wentworth Park and places like that. There's liquidity and all that there, and as we're attacking the favourite only, we can get on usually there. So that's just a word of warning. I haven't really checked New Zealand. During the daytime, there's nothing much in the pools, but if you are in New Zealand or you want to play the New Zealand ones, I guess it's just a case of testing it and see what's available. Okay, so here's the interface, and you can see the interface obviously is very much the same as your Stop at a Winner horse one if you've got that. If you haven't, well, you should have it. Okay, there's some new improvements that we've brought in line on this one. Namely that we've added a help section for Betfair here. So if you click on that, it goes to the Betfair help, tells you about bits and pieces on Betfair. The software manual is here, of which at the moment is the horse manual because the setting basically it runs the same. The settings are here, and I'll go through the settings in a sec. So this is the interface. Okay. We have obviously the tab for our current bets. There's no current bets, and our tab for the results. Here, these are the results that I've got. I've been running it for 3 days now in the UK. The first day I only used laying. The second and third day I've been using backing and laying. You can see there 271 bets for a profit of $146. And I'm only, as you can see there, I'm chasing at $1 profit on the backs and $1 profit on the lays. But we'll talk about the results in a sec. Okay, so the settings. Let's have a look at the settings. Okay, these are the settings that I find are working for me. But of course, you can choose obviously what you want to do yourself. But in the lay tab, this is the lay settings here. The minimum odds I've got is 2. Maximum odds I've got at 3.9. I have found when I was doing it the first day, I had it set at 5, and you'd be surprised how many winners come in the dogs between 4 and 5. So that's why I've opted for the 3.9, and the last 2 days it's worked fine. I've just put in here the minimum amount matched is at 2,000 now. Obviously done that so that we do get some indication that the dog that we're betting on is the favourite. So if you had a smaller amount, if you're laying, you may have trouble getting your lay bet put on. So that's why I've picked a minimum match of 2,000. But once again, trial and error of what you want to do. In this case, of the results I'll show you, I was looking for a profit of £1 or $1, and I had my stop loss there set at 100. So if it got to 100, it would restart again. So that's why I've got continue. So once I get a profit, it continues again. So I've got the continued box ticked. And if I do happen to hit my stop loss, which I've been nowhere near it, I've got that ticked as well. So it will restart again. I'm only playing in the win market, and I'm ignoring joint favourites. Okay, so I've picked 10 seconds to post because a lot of obviously the Greyhounds and that, most of the money comes in the last couple of minutes, so that's why there. And I've got the runners set at 5 to 8. 8, obviously, if you're going to do Australia, there's 8 runners in Australian Greyhounds, only 6, of course, in the UK. So that's the laying settings. And in the backing settings, the only differences here is I've lifted the minimum back odds. I don't want to back anything that's under 3, and I don't want to back anything that's over 5. And I've found that when I was doing it at 5, now, I mean, there's nothing that's been past 4.5 so far. So Why a minimum of 3? Because this is we're recovering our losses. If you get down too low, you'll find that your bets can climb pretty quickly. So that's why I find at 3, it's not, you're not getting such a knock-on effect if you have some losers in a row. And be surprised how many dogs between the 2 and the 3 actually lose. Hence, that's why I've got them here up here in the lay odds. Okay, but all the other settings are exactly the same as the lay, just the odds have been changed there. Okay, so that's the settings for the results that I've been getting. And let's have a look at what I've been getting. Okay, within a few hours of getting the software, I set it up for the UK and ran it from about 1 o'clock, I think it was, UK time. And you can see there in the first day here too, I was only laying the dogs. Okay, so I had a big stop loss on it because I didn't know what was going to happen. But we can see here on one, I'm just chasing $1 a win. The Greyhounds, I made $45 on the first day just with the dogs for a lay only. And having looked at the results and having a look at the way things were panning out, I moved on to day 2 and I added backing as well. So we were laying to those odds that I just showed you and we were backing to the odds I've just shown you. And on day 2, which was Saturday, so quite a bit of racing on the Saturday, there $63.95 profit on the backing and laying. And then Sunday here, not as many races, but still backing and laying returned $41 while I was asleep on the UK racing. Now I have tried it on the Australian racing, and I found on the Australian racing, as I said, the night meetings could get the bets on okay. Because they're running 8 dogs in Australia net, I found that the laying was doing a lot better than the backing. So jury's still out on the Australian racing. I would, at the moment, as I've only had it 3 days and that and had a great run with the UK, I would just stick with the UK until such time as you can experiment. Obviously, it's up to you. But if we go to click on the results, you can see here back lay, back lay, back lay. So and here's the amounts of profit or losses through here. So you can see there, like the figures, there's no big scary figures there. Quite gentle and well under our 100. The reason that I showed in that video, I had it set the original day at 350 was because I just wanted to have a guide to see where it would go. But I noticed when I did have laying at up to 5, there was about 5 dogs came in between the 4 and the 5 in price, and they really kicked your lays out. So that's why by reducing the lays back down to that zone of that I have under 4, we don't need to have the stop loss so high. So that's why I've reduced it back to 100. I mean, you could probably reduce it to 50. Once again, as I said, 3 days with the software. I'm more than happy with it. $150. I should be happy. I've been asleep most of the time and earned that. So it's up to you to experiment in that. But we did, as I said, we built this because of the requests of everyone that what they wanted Greyhounds to be able to play with. So here it is. You can follow the Greyhounds without having to listen to every race or watch every race or do what you like. Okay, so on behalf of Michael and myself, Steve, here's Stop It a Winner Greyhounds. We are limiting the number because we don't know what the liquidity is like in the Greyhounds. So we are limiting the sales to 50, and then we'll see if the liquidity is affected. If it's not, then we'll release some more. But if we're finding it harder and harder to get the bets, then it may be a while before we re-release it. So if you're happy with your Stop It a Winner horse bot, and we've got a lot of people that are happy at that, then here's Stop It a Winner Greyhound. Thanks again for your time, and we'll see you real soon. Cheers.